What's up, y'all? I'm here today with Jay.
What's up,
Introduce
y'all?
yourself. What do you do?
I'm Jay. I'm a loctician, barber, braider, hairstylist all around.
Oh, I didn't even know you cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
I think you told me that last time.
But yeah, I do
when was
everything.
there.
I color hair too.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I definitely need my hair guy too. All right, y'all. So we're gonna do a quick, I guess you could say a discussion video. So we're just gonna vlog, talk about, a few subjects that are good debatable topics. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. What's the first thing you want to go over?
So the first thing we have is dating in 2023.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I don't want to say it's hard, but like, I don't
It's
know.
definitely not easy.
I feel like it's categories though. Like,
Okay, yeah, that's true.
you either old school or you new school.
Yes, but that's the disconnect, in my opinion.
That's the disconnect.
That is the disconnect. Because, like me, I feel like I'm more like old school.
Same.
So it's
But
like
you surrounded.
by new school.
By
So
new
it's like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like,
Yeah.
can y'all just, please. And with that though, like when you're different just in that aspect, it also affects like how you love people too. So it just causes a disconnect. And not just like with dating, even like with different relationships, like
Yeah.
business relationships, friendships, like when people move differently because of the era like that they carry within themselves, it just
Exactly.
it makes it hard.
You can't understand each other.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but like everybody has to be understanding. Like, but if you have like a stubborn old school person or a stubborn new school person, it don't get nowhere.
Yeah.
How do you go about dating in 2023?
Me, I mean, it's literally like, I guess they approach me, I approach them.
Okay.
I see somebody. It's easy to talk about the don'ts, I feel
Right.
like.
Yeah, that's true.
So the don'ts is like, I can't do nothing online.
What you mean? Like you don't want to post or like?
No, like meet somebody online.
Oh, okay.
Or app, Facebook, like Instagram.
I mean, I feel like I agree with that. Like not to go looking for it. Like I'm not gonna be on there looking
but
for
I'm not
it.
on there.
Right.
Like, yeah.
If somebody like DM you and it's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
and then they move forward, I get
Yeah. But like all them apps, them dating apps and stuff.
No, that's my birds.
I can't do it. And then another no is I don't know.
When it comes to the people you're dating, what's a no? Or like what makes you not want to date somebody? Like even before you get there, what makes you not want to date a person?
Somebody's just, I mean, like, I don't like to say don't have it together, but I mean, you gotta have something.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't have like no plan.
I like to picture like, us build together.
Right.
But I'm already at a certain level to where like you can't be at rock bottom.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you just can't. Like you just not with me. I'll be your friend. I'll help you, but I can't drag you from rock bottom to where I'm at.
I think it also depends on what type of rock bottom though. Like if you're on rock bottom, like you ain't even got started.
No car, no job.
Right. Like if you have your stuff and like you were going through like a rough time or you fell off,
something
like
happened
that's different.
and it ain't been no laps,
Right.
no years.
If you like ain't got nothing going on for yourself at all, like you ain't even started and you at rock bottom and you don't even have nothing going on, like I get that for sure. Like I could be understanding as far as like if people, like I said, fall off in the midst of like where they trying to go.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
I feel that.
And what are well, obviously the opposite would be a do for you.
Yeah.
But what are other things that make you want to be like, you know what, like I might be able to add you to the list of like who I have
would
potential.
date. Somebody is just interested.
Okay.
Like, I'm not always the one texting, calling, and I mean, like, somebody is just interested. Like,
Okay. So reciprocation. pretty much.
reciprocation,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's important, especially from the beginning, because I personally feel like that's where a lot of people mess up. They will give and give and give at the beginning of a situation, and then as the relationship progresses, and then like the other person, like, you know, of course they'll start to like you more,
Yeah.
but they still don't like talk to you as much as you want them to, or they still don't like take you out on dates like you want them to, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. But it's like you let them start that way, and you didn't like at least fix it, or you allowed them to even get this far without that effort. So it's kind of hard to expect that from them now. And then, okay, so interracial dating.
Oh, yeah,
How do you feel
interracial.
about interracial dating?
I mean, I always said I was open to it. Now, have I done it? No, I ain't never did it. I mean, but I'm open to it. I'm not one of those. I mean, I have, believe it or not, it's friends, family. They're like a flat out no. I'm not doing it. Like they won't.
Right,
do,
of course,
like,
of course.
I'm not. I don't feel that way.
I mean, I don't knock anybody's preferences, so.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying. I mean, if I was to feel that way, then I was to feel that way. But no, I don't feel that way. Like I don't know. I mean, but as far as watching it, like seeing it now, I mean, it's almost expected. I feel like.
kinda, I feel like we're in a weird period though.
Like, it's
we're
not
in a
weird,
period
it's
of
not
like
different,
where
but it's
people
like-
are trying it now because like you have like an interracial couple going viral on TikTok or whatever. So like you got people trying it now, but you still have a lot of people that are like, oh, like why are you doing that? Like you know, like so I feel like we're in like a gray area right now where it's like people are trying it,
Shay trying it.
but some people have the wrong intentions when they're trying. It's like, oh, I'm done with this, so I don't want to date that no more. Like on all ends, like you got Mexicans, white people, black people, they all like, no.
And then you also have, I seen on the show, but it was real, like people not even just wanting to date interracial, but like I like to have sex interracial, but I won't.
Dating.
I'm never dating.
Oh yes.
That's the thing too.
I've had a conversation with somebody, and it wasn't even necessarily that's what they were saying, but like they didn't want to have like a permanent relationship with the person, and it was like confusing for them because like they love the person. They're like, I don't even know why I'm thinking this way, but I think it was just if you grow up around just black love or just, you know, white love, whatever, you may end up feeling wrong.
Yeah.
Like when you're in an interracial relationship to the point where you feel like, oh, it's not gonna be bad. But when you fall in love with somebody, it's like you can't like all that. To me, I feel like love is always gonna be the most important thing. So it's just like once you in love,
You follow your heart.
right, it's just like all the other stuff you had in your head about, oh, I don't want to be with that, or I don't want to. It's like as long as that person is loving you, it's just like some of the stuff is just, you know, like it's not important.
Yeah.
It's not important. Yeah, I've never dated anybody. I've dated like, of course, like, you know, mixed people, but I've never dated outside of my race.
But you open to it.
I don't think so. But not like in like a negative way. Just like it's just not my preference. Like I actually like chocolate girls in general. Yeah. So to me, it's just like I probably wouldn't be attracted to anybody.
But if something happens,
right now, Latinos, I ain't gonna lie. You know. But that's probably the only route I would go, to be honest. But I love chocolate women, so I think it's just more of like my preference. I don't have an issue with interracial. I'm all for it. If you're attracted to that person, if you like that person, cool. But me personally, I know for the most part, I'm attracted to chocolate girls, so it probably wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely not against it. Like I said, I feel like you love who you love. If the love is real, if the love is good, hey, Do your
Falls
thing.
in.
All right, what's next?
So next we got, is the toxic person in the relationship me? Why do I always find the red flags?
I mean, I feel like everybody has to go through that, though. Everybody has to get to a point where if you are constantly in relationships that are failing, you have to ask yourself, is it me? And of course, like, people may constantly do things to you, but that still doesn't mean that something about you is not playing a role into it.
Yeah.
So, like, if I keep going into the relationship with, like I said, if I'm allowing people to come in without putting in the effort that they need to, and then it gets to a point where I get fed up and then the relationship is over, or I get fed up. Right, because it's like, I allowed you to come in like that.
Yeah.
And if I don't...
but what about when it's hidden? Like, you don't...
That's why I'm like, in that case, it's like one of those, sometimes people can, yes, be toxic. And sometimes, like even personally, like, I know I've been in a relationship where I didn't start off the way that I ended, in a sense. But life took me through different things to where, like, you know, when if there was moments where I was going through something, or, you know, whatever happened to me or whatever was going on with me caused a change in my own self to where, like, I might have been doing toxic things, or I might have been doing destructive things, self-destructive things, because of, like, my own life and what I was going through, changes that I was going through outside of my relationship.
Yeah.
So you also have that. Like, sometimes it's not necessarily that the person hid it from you, like, they might just be going through something. Or yes, you do have people that they put on a good front till they can't no more.
Yeah.
It's like, or I want to be something for you so bad just to get you. And then I get you, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then you see my true colors. Because I already got you now, I don't have to put on that front no more. Yeah. So you definitely have that.
And on the second part, when it's like, why do I always find the red flags? I'm like, for me, like, if I see toxic, I mean, that's a flag. And I mean, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'm like, is it safe to say, like, I feel like that's bad, though. Everybody should have a little toxic, right?
I mean, okay. So I'm not going to say it's bad, but in a sense, like, yes, sometimes, like I said, people can be going through things. Or a person could just need, you know, like, to grow up. Or a person could need to go through a growth. Also, one thing is, like, your guard. I know, like... That, too.
I don't know. I kind of went through something that was, like... had my guard down, something happened, guard was up. And, like, guard is up, and it's like they trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, be back where we were, but I'm like, no, my guard is up now.
Right. It's
you know what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. Like, I feel like you have to just be really in love with a person to get back to that point. And everybody has to be on a mutual page, because if you understand that you did something, or not saying they did something, but if you understand that you did something, or you understand that something happened to make me take a step back, and you're willing to put in the work to get back to where we were, and I'm willing to, like, let you try, I feel like that's where you'll have that room to grow. But if, you know, both parties are not, that's what I'm about to say. Some people...
Or are you obligated to explain it to them?
I don't feel like you're obligated. I feel like if you're going to still allow them in your life...
You're not getting it and I'm not obligated to explain it to you, then that's a flag. I'm gone.
Well, it depends, though. Like, if and I say that because, like, okay, let's say that something did happen, right? And you still, like, you don't want to let go of the person. It's just like... But I need you to understand, like, why this happened. In a situation like that, you have to explain. Okay. Because I can't expect you to put in the effort to make a change if you don't know. Yeah. Now, I say that lightly because some stuff is obvious. If you know you messed up, it's like, I shouldn't have to explain what you did.
Yeah.
Now, some people do need you to explain like how they can fix it though.
Yeah.
Everybody's different in that way to where it's
If it
like
can be fixed.
right. Everybody's different in that way where it's like, okay, how do you want me to fix it? So I feel like that is important. If I'm in that, like if you're gonna keep that person around, yes, explain it because then you're being toxic. It's like a mutual thing. Like if I'm keeping you around, but I don't want to explain to you what you did and how you can fix it, but I'm still letting you come and go, and I'm still coming and going. I'm being toxic with you.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a double-edged sword. But if I explain to you, okay, this is what I had an issue with. Now, like I said, I feel like most of the time it's obvious, but sometimes it's not because you have people that everybody's been in a previous situation where that wasn't a problem.
To compare, they use that.
Right, it's like, oh, I didn't know, like, it's never been a problem before, or nobody else said anything about this, or the last person I was with, I did the same thing, and this wasn't like an issue. So sometimes you do have to say, well, for me, it's an issue. And then it's still up to that person to where it's like, either you can understand that this is a boundary for me and we can compromise and get to a place where we can work it out as far as like, because it could be like a regular behavior. Like if you always want to argue, but that's just how you feel like you have to get people to understand, you got to explain that to me because I'm going to feel like you're trying to argue with me and you're picking with me. But if that's just how you communicate, then we need to figure out a better way to compromise with each other and have a conversation.
Makes sense.
So, yes, I do feel like you got to explain. If you want to still continue on with that person, explain. Now, if you done with the person, that's just one. Like, I'm a person where it's one or the other. Like, if I still want to give a person a chance, yes, I will. I'll be like, look, I did not, and it might take me a while. I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect or that I'm gonna immediately say it. It might take me a while to be like, okay, look, I do have a problem. This is why, and this is how we're gonna have to get over it.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I said, if I do want to move on with a person, I'll say it. But if I know it's just like, really, I was just waiting on a reason anyway. Like if I know I don't have that chemistry with you anyway. It's just one of those like, it's like one of those be real with yourself. Like if the chemistry is not there, there's no reason for me to explain to you because that's also wasting your time. Imagine if I know I can't really be with a person like you or I can't really be with you. And then I'm asking you to do all these things. And then let's say you do it. And then I'm like, I really just don't want to be with you though. Like that was a waste of their time and yours. So I think it's important to also identify, like, do you really want to be with that person? Before you even ask yourself, what's the issue? Figure out if you want to be with that person first. And if you do, then yes, address the issue. If you don't, then in that case, I can understand. Just you're not obligated to explain nothing to somebody you don't plan on.
Just make sure you're not the one trying to be toxic.
Right.
If you gotta ask yourself, be real, then
Right. And that's not because I've been there. Like, I feel like I used to be that. But I feel
like because it's probably easy to, especially if y'all going, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and you're bored, like.
And then you like, all right.
You ain't got much else going on. Right. Like, okay, I'll play the fence with you. Yeah. Even though I know, like, and I genuinely can say, like, I've been there before to where, like, a person might have been doing everything I wanted them to do, but I knew I didn't want to be with that person. Like, it was just one of those, like, and it was nothing personal, but it was just one of those, like, I can't see myself, like, genuinely marrying you. Like, and it was,
with me, I always be like, with me, I'm like, I can't bring you home to my family.
Right? Like, one of those, like, like, this is not, like, I can't.
I don't even know. I can't even, like, be seen with you.
Right. Like, one of those, like, this is not going to be my life. Like, one of those, and, like, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Yeah. And people do not like to, like, be blunt about stuff like that. But it's like, and it don't have to necessarily be, like, a physical thing. But for me, like, I'm a shallow person. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So And I say that in a way like I'm not shallow where like if you look good, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But you gotta look good.
Yeah.
It's that. So it's like I have to be attracted to you, and I'm not wrong for that. You know, like nobody's wrong for that. If you're not attracted to a person, you're just not. And I mean, now people also confuse like I mean that in all ways because I could be attracted to you enough to have sex with you, and like having sex with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not attracted to you to like what we just said, I can't bring you. I can't show you off. Like I don't feel like I'm showing off with you. Like or you know like like I don't have that feeling. Like look this is me. You know like if I don't have that feeling, I just don't. And I just feel like people be scared to say that, or they're like looks don't matter. And to some people they don't. Some people they could genuinely be attracted to a person in every way because they love that person and they right, and that is such a strong attraction for them that they do feel like this is me and she's great or he's great. Like if you feel that way about that person, that's you. You know what I mean? Like now, like I said, personally, it's just like I need a little bit of everything.
Okay.
You gotta look good, and I need you to treat me well
match.
as well, right? Like, and that, like,
yeah.
I don't want to look better than you. Like that's. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like I don't feel like like especially for me because I'm not like a manly stud. So to me, it's like I don't expect you to be like a goddamn like supermodel. Yeah. But it's like at least I don't want people looking at me like, damn, you way prettier than your girlfriend. Like like that type, like that type of thing. So it's like, and not even about other people, like, cause I'ma have those thoughts myself. Like I don't want to have that thought. Like, damn, babe, I look better than you. I don't want to look at you and think that, like So it's like, to me, it's just like it's not necessarily again just being strictly shallow, but I want to feel proud of like who I'm with, or I want to feel like I'm showing you off in any way. Like even if it's what you do for me, of course. But like I said, I feel like it goes all.
And I feel like
aspects.
sometimes people try to confuse that to like, oh, you care what other people think. I'm like, no, it's not.
If I feel
not
like
that. It's me. Like that's how I feel. Like
right. Like personally, and that's now. But that's what I'm saying. Like to me, like I feel like I've been in those situations, or like. Like if somebody was like a hot boy, like and I feel like there's an extent, of course, like high school is high school, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But if you was just hoeing like right before you got to me, it's like,
okay.
Cause to me that's also like a, you have to keep that in mind for yourself too, though, because it's like. I don't know what point you're at right now. Now, yes, if we like get to a point where I know that's not what you want, of course, but it's just like I said, it's not solely looks, but just in all ways. Like if I feel like you're not in a space to where I don't have no concerns about like, okay, yeah, this is me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And
I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about my own thoughts to where I'm like, damn, do I really want to post you? Or, damn. I don't know, like like, do I really want to be like? Do I really want to take you out on a date with me?
I got
like,
it in my head, like I'm like, I can't post. I'm not trying to post nobody and then like having to go back and delete the picture, like
that.
I'm tired of watching it. Everybody like you see.
You got people who have all of their exes in their Facebook role, like.
Oh,
you ain't even bother going.
You
like
go through the profile pictures, and it's just like they are.
No. And I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. Like, if you start talking to me, go to your social media. Don't post me. If you got anybody still on your Facebook, and I only say that because like I'm like that. I'll be like, dang, she got all her, or he got all his exes on his page. Like,
oh dang.
Like, damn, I can still scroll and see who you was with 5 months ago. Like, no.
That is super.
For real, like, no. I literally did that earlier. And I'm like, why this girl still got her third ex ago on her damn Facebook roll?
For real.
And, like, to me, I don't know. But everybody's different. But I feel like for me, like, I was with my ex for, like, 6 years, right? And I feel like I intentionally didn't delete nothing for a while. So to me, it's like I didn't want to. So if I see like you still got your stuff up and whatnot, like I have to be like, okay, I don't know where you stand with it, but me personally, I know if I don't delete it, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those, like, if you don't want to delete the pictures of your ex, you wasting my time already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, people be scared to say it, but listen, it is still toxic to mess with people or to date people that you know you don't want to be with in the long run.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I know we're in an era where it's like, it's okay to date, and it is, but why are we wasting time with people we don't see a future with? That to me is the different part.
Maybe you use him.
That, like, we could date, yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't date and explore your options, but once you figure out that that's not an option you want for the long run, let it go. Personally, because that's being toxic. Even if you're not, people think like if you arguing all the time, or if you fight all the time, or if you petty and stuff like that, people feel like those are toxic behaviors. You don't have to be violent or aggressive to be toxic. The quiet ones be the most toxic ones.
Like, them texters, the people
like,
that sending paragraphs.
Yeah, like,
oh, Lord.
Or like people that get you riled up and then ignore you. That's toxic. Because you didn't sit here and cursed me out
and then blocked me.
You now you ain't got nothing to say.
Okay.
And now you don't want me to say
toxic.
nothing. And then want to talk to you when they feel like it. That's like toxic too.
After you done already forgot about it.
Like, it's like, oh, hey, what are you doing? Like, no. That's toxic. Now, like I said, I'm not saying like, so to answer your original question, I'm not saying you have to, if you see toxic behavior, I feel like, yes, you should keep note of it, but also understand where it's coming from. Yeah. If you're that interested. Okay. It's also that. If I feel like you are worth that much to be like, okay, well, let me at least figure out why. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is something that, like I said, because some people just need to grow.
Yeah.
And it's all about what you have, what you want to make time for. Like, and that's why I'm saying, if you're interested enough, I feel like it's not a bad thing unless you plan on being toxic with them. Then that's where it's like, now, yes, that you're wasting time. But it's like, if I want to actually, and the person too, if the person wants to stay toxic, leave them where they at. Yeah. But if that person, some people don't understand that they toxic. They don't. Or some people are like, I didn't think that was a problem. Or, oh, it's just this. Like, it's something little. It's not that deep. But it's like, well, if you want to be with me, it is that deep. Yeah. And that's where you will see how far that person will go. If it's a person where it's like, you know what, I'm sorry, like, if that's an issue for you, I'm willing to, change, or I'm willing to, like, fix it. Then that's why I'm saying, like, when you meet people like that, like I said, sometimes they don't know no better. Sometimes nobody has ever challenged them about it. Mm-hmm. Those people, if you're interested enough, I feel like, yes, it's okay to be like, okay, well, let's see where this can go. Yeah. But like I said, now if a person is showing you they not gonna change, you know.
Believe them.
Yeah. Believe them. Definitely that. Do you feel like you, like, okay, so in the aspect of you dating, do you feel like, I know you just said like you just, like you, if you see a red flag, you just be like, all right, like I'm cool. Yeah. But do you feel like you search for that, or do you feel like it just comes?
I feel like it just comes, like it just, and I don't, and I was talking like, I'm like, maybe I'm good at, you know, like how you said, like sometimes y'all can be good, and then like they work so hard to get you, and then after they get you, the stuff start coming out. But maybe I feel like because it didn't happen over and over, like I can just see it.
Yeah.
Like ain't no hiding it.
I know.
You can't hide nothing. Like I can.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, I'm like, wait.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, I feel that. Because I've definitely been down that road. But sometimes I also have to remember, like, I can't hold this person
Yeah, you try
responsible
not to. Yeah.
for how somebody
Exactly.
else was. And I say that because like somebody
And
could
so that's
be
the, I feel like
similar.
that's the chance that you take. That's the little word.
Right,
You
that's
say,
the word.
Let
Let me see
But,
if you're willing
yeah.
to hear me out and say, okay, you know what? No, I like you,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to put myself on a road to grow for you, or even if it's for themselves, because sometimes that's an issue too.
Yeah.
If you only changing for me and you genuinely don't see the problem, because some people be like, okay, I just want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you genuinely don't see the problem, we're still gonna have issues. Because when you get mad, it's gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do stuff to piss me off. Whereas, like, if you just wanted to change for yourself, I know that's not something we're gonna have an issue with because you don't want to be like. Because for me, like, I feel like that's how I had to change because I just didn't want to be a certain way no more. I didn't want to deal with people, or I didn't want to like hurt people, or I didn't want to like be toxic with people. It took for me to just not want to do that.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with nobody or anybody else. I had to simply be like, I don't want to be that way no more. I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to make people feel like that. I don't want to do it.
You made the change.
Right. So it's like it's one of those, like I said, you got to gauge where a person is at. Like, if I tell you something is a problem and then you like, you know what? Like, I never thought about it that way. Like, I see what you're saying. That's different.
You like,
whereas,
okay, like they understand it.
right.
You know what I'm
Whereas a
saying?
person is just like, I guess, okay, I just want to
All
do
right,
it.
I won't do it.
Right, like, okay, I just want to do it. And sometimes I'm like that. Like, I'll be like, okay, whatever, I just want to do it. But a lot of times for me, like, and if a person knows me, like, I'm just stubborn. So I'm probably, 9 times out of 10, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I'm stubborn, so I'm not going to tell you right.
Exactly.
I'm not going to tell you you're right. But I would be like, okay, I get it. I won't do it. You know? And then there's that. If you really understand, you won't do it.
Yeah.
Because if you mistakenly do it again, or you end up doing it again, like I said, when you're mad, then you never really understood. Because people can tell you, oh, I understand.
Yeah,
You
if
don't.
it matters to you, you're gonna catch yourself like, oh wait.
Mhm.
But if it don't matter, then
Eventually, it's gonna go out the window.
and it different things might take time. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's hard to break a habit.
That's all I'm about to say. Some people, like I said, some people have been in 5 relationships,
and that's them.
and it was not a problem, and this is me.
Yeah.
And they really have to, like I said, take time to grow into another person or to a better person.
Mhm.
But like I said, you just have to identify if that person wants to grow, if that person wants to be a better person. I was about to say, I know you want to know. If that person wants to be better, that's what makes a difference.
Yeah.
If you want to be a better person, then cool, let's do it. What's next?
Next we got setting boundaries to live a peaceful life.
What do you feel like?
I definitely
You
have.
have to set boundaries on.
Yeah, I have some boundaries.
Clearly. You're like, 1 strike and you're out.
Literally, like I'm at the point where like, I have fun. I like to. I feel like I'm real spontaneous.
Okay.
I feel like it's probably grown now, and with that, like, I don't know, like I feel like. I know that I like to, we all gotta work. After work, I always like to still like have fun. Like, if it's something small, something big, I don't know, it's just like, I just be enjoying life. Like, but I also know how to negativity, I really don't find myself around it too much.
Right.
If it happens, I'm
So
like,
that's your boundary, like
that's my
negative
boundary.
energy.
Negative energy, like,
Gotcha.
or living a peaceful life. Boundaries. Let's say I really just be trying to smile. I like to I'm just real fun, and it works for me.
Well, like, what's your boundary with other people though? Like, what's something where you're like, I'd appreciate if you just don't do this. Like, even if you do this in your own life, and obviously I mean like just people around you, or even if it's like a relationship, like if you're gonna do this, like I don't want to be involved. Or like not, and I'm not saying like action wise, but just like even if it's like if you know you have an attitude, talk to me later.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I could say that, the attitude, yeah. Like, I don't really like, if I know somebody's like upset or something, I don't know, like, I may still talk to them, but like if it's just not going nowhere, like yelling, that may be one too. Like, you can't yell. And I understand like getting into it, because I get into it too. And then, but if somebody was to correct me, because it's happened before, like we into it, they're like, why are you yelling? My bad. I'll break it down. But it's just like, if you can't do that, then I'm done talking.
Yeah, I feel.
I don't go back and forth. That's another boundary too. I don't like to go back and forth with nobody.
Me neither. I
don't feel like I need to.
I hate it. I hate it. Like,
I'm not going on no statuses or no thread.
Oh yeah, definitely not that. But even in person, like after like the third rebuttal, I'm done. Like I don't want to. Okay, you got it. I don't want to.
But don't get me wrong. I like to have a discussion. Like
but it has to be a discussion though. Like
not an argument. It don't have to, just because we discuss it, don't have to make it an argument.
Right. You see, that's what I had to learn though.
Yeah.
I was a person where it's like, I feel like it's an argument off top. Like if we disagreeing, and I just feel like you're being aggressive, like I just feel like it's an argument. But sometimes, like I said, you have to know how people are or learn people. And if you're just passionate in general when you talk, especially if you feel like you're right about something, I can't always take that as like you're trying to argue. You're just passionate about what you're talking about. So it's like,
you gotta recognize the two.
Right, and I'm still working on that. Where I'm like, when people get passionate, not necessarily aggressive, because there's a difference. When somebody's passionate about what they're talking about, like sometimes I have to identify, and I'm like, okay, before I think that you're just trying to argue with me, let me try to hear you out and understand what you're saying.
Yeah, then that's good. That makes sense.
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm working on it. It's still one of those like, okay, if you get too aggressive with me, I'm gonna just retreat. But I'm working on it to where, yes, if a person is just being passionate about what they're saying, I just try to be like, okay. But sometimes people don't get it though when I'm like, okay, because they think like I'm just like, okay, but I'm just saying like, okay. I'm letting you, like, I'm letting you have the floor and letting you speak what you feel like. Because I'm a person where, like, I don't necessarily, like you said, I don't need to explain myself a lot of times. So if I feel like I know you to the point where I know you feel like you got to explain yourself, I'm going to just say, okay, and let you go on and on, because you got to get it out.
Get it out.
Right. And that's what I had to understand, because I'm a person where like, why are you still talking?
Well, my thing is reciprocate that. Say okay, but okay. Not just okay in one ear, out the other.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right.
Don't
and
let
that's
me talk and you just like...
I'm stubborn, but if you tell me something bothers you,
more mad.
And then later on, I'm going to remember that bothered you. And unless you bother me, then I don't care. But like, I'm gonna remember that bothered you to the point where I'm gonna work on not doing it. Yeah. So even if I don't continue to go back and forth with you about it, it's still gonna be one of those like, you know what, that bothered you, so I'm not gonna go there.
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah.
So I still try to. He about to get upset out there. I still try to keep that in mind.
So what you feel like one of your boundaries is? Keeping your peace.
It's definitely negative energy, but in a sense of like, if I know that you're like working towards something, or if we're mutually working towards something, and then the minute something like sets us back or sets you back, and this is just an example, like, but in this scenario where the minute something sets you back, it's just like, you know what, it's just not gonna work, blah blah. Like that, I gotta check out.
Oh yeah.
Like that's where I'm like, because I don't want you rubbing off on me, especially like being an entrepreneur, having your own business is like, I can't have that type of attitude or energy because I'm never gonna get anywhere if I do. If I feel like I'm not making the sales I need to make or that I want to make, I'm gonna be ready to give up every time.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't be around people when they're, I'm not gonna say people that are like that because people are who they are, but I can't be around you when you're in that type of mood. Like
so
if you're
to call quits.
right, like if you're in that like woe is me, I'm out. Like I will talk to you tomorrow. Or I'm a person where like I'll also like I'm blunt. So if you going through your woe is me and you need to go through it, probably shouldn't talk to me. Cause I'm gonna tell you, like you in the woe is me right now, and I'm not going for it. Like I have people like that where, and they feel like I'm being mean or like I don't understand where they're coming from. It's like it's not that, but soaking is not gonna get you anywhere. Like I'm not a person that can soak with you, you know, like. And like I said, I understand if that's what you need to do, but if I soak, I get stuck in it. Yeah. So I can't go there with you. Like that's one of my boundaries. Like if you're in that type of mind state, I'm willing to talk to you about it, but you have to understand, like when I'm talking to you, I'm trying to motivate you. Yeah. I'm not trying to like be mean or rude or ugly. I'm just trying to get you out of that mood. Like, hey, like stop with all that. Like, you know, get out of that victim mindset. But sometimes people are like, damn, like, why you gotta call me a victim? Like, you know, like they not processing what I'm really trying to say. Mm-hmm. They just hearing like the negative word. Again, they're stuck in that negative mindset to where they just hear the negative words you're saying or using, and it's like, oh, why are you talking to me like that? Like I'm already feeling down, and it's like, I understand that, but I'm trying to tell you to get your ass up. Like, I'm not about to sit there down with you. I'm trying to get you to come back up here because I don't want to sit down.
It also takes you learning how to take criticism.
For sure. For sure.
I mean, like, I still find myself sometimes I'm like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. What happened? Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess we all human.
For sure.
But yeah, they gotta have an understanding on that too.
I don't feel like I've ever been like openly bad with criticism. Like if somebody tells me something,
but then it's also the way they say it though.
Of course, that.
Like,
but some people it just blunt. I'm a blunt person, so
yeah.
I still had to. Yeah, I still had to learn.
That's me too.
If somebody else is being blunt, I gotta remember how I am too.
Exactly.
Like, if this was me and that was them, I probably would be saying, hey, get over it. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't say that, but like, I probably would have that type of direction in the conversation.
Exactly.
So if somebody else gives me that energy, sometimes like, it's like, what? But then I'm like, you like that. Like come on now, be real with yourself. Like, all right. And so, at first, like I said, like I wasn't bad with it openly. Like where I would just kind of like look at somebody like, are you being a hater or are you genuinely telling me something? You know what I mean? Like, but now I have enough discernment to see the difference. Like, because you do have some people where they will hide the hate and criticism, where it's like, I don't think you should do that. And it'd be like something that really would be productive. Like, and it's like, why wouldn't you want me, or why wouldn't I want to do that? Mm-hmm. So it's just, you know, I feel like that's also something for me. To have a peaceful life, I feel like my discernment has to be very, very high. Well, I have to keep my discernment. Like, I feel like I've always had a good discernment since I was a kid. Like, I've always been a person to be like, I don't want to do that. You know, like, or, I don't think I really want to be around you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've always had enough discernment with people throughout my life. But, you know, as you get older, and like I said, you learn that sometimes people are going through things. Like, and you learn that life happens. It's like, sometimes that throws your discernment off because you're like, you know, some people might need a chance. Mm-hmm. But again, you got to still keep that discernment about you to know, like, some people do need a chance. And other people, you got to leave them where they at. Mm-hmm. So for me, a peaceful life is definitely all about discernment in general, whether it's people, places, things, like you gotta have enough discernment to know what's for you. Because if you don't, you're gonna have a long road ahead of you.
Okay. Well, next we got learning not to expect you out of others and being okay with that.
Now, even if like if you were to go to like my last like 2 New Year videos, that's been something consistent that I talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a giver.
Same.
And it's like I try my best to be there for people as much as I can. You know, like I'm also a business owner. I also have, you know, a relationship. So I can't always be there for people, but I do my best. And for me, it's like if people don't show up like I feel like I would, it's just like, why are you here? But again, it's like a constant reminder, how you feel, you show up, you can't expect other people to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, it's just better for you in general because you don't get disappointed as much. But it's also better for your relationship sometimes because some people just don't operate the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I feel like support to me is you buying every shirt I drop, right? But you feel like word of mouth is your support. And I'm complaining about you not buying shirts, but you didn't send me 4 customers, I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm sitting here like, you don't ever buy nothing. Not knowing that 3 of these people came from you because that's your way of supporting me. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, you gotta, everything is not how you see it.
Yeah.
And I think that's also...
I gotta try to keep that in my head too. Cause I'm like, man, what is like...
What are you doing?
I would do that. Like, it's always me. I'm like, man.
Now, of course, again, that's where discernment plays a role because some people just genuinely are not supporting the right way.
Yeah.
And that's okay too, but it's like, if you're not... Some people feel like it's like, you know, stooping to other people's level. But I don't see it that way. Like, if you're not pouring into me, I'm not obligated to pour into you. Mm. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about doing what you're doing. It's just like, if I'm showing up for you as much as I can and you won't even come to a show for me, it's like I'm kind of wasting my time because in any case, if you don't feel like it's necessary for you to show up, you shouldn't feel like it's necessary for me to show up. So, mm-hmm. Like, if I don't show up, you shouldn't be bothered. Since that's not something that's an issue on the other hand. So to me, it's just like, I can save more of my energy for myself.
Exactly.
Instead of giving it to you.
Cutting back, like, on some of the things. I mean, because it's like, not even like how you said showing up, but it's just like, sometimes I feel like it's common sense. Sometimes I feel like it's home training, proper etiquette.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that.
For sure.
And then but it's like, they don't have none. Or they only got 2. Right. Or they got 1. You know what I'm saying? So
if it's 2 out of 3, okay. You know what I mean? But if you got like not even 1 out of 3, you know what I mean? Like you got 1 out of 6. Like, come on now.
It's like, okay. And then I start to think about it again. I'm like, okay, no, I don't know why I expected you.
Right.
Why did I expect you? Yeah. Yeah. Like, and then like for me, like you said, I'm a giver. I feel like I'm a giver too. Like, for the longest, like, my mama, you know what I'm saying, raising me, in my head, I have it embedded. Treat others how you want to be treated. Right. But that is no longer the case. Like you can't, because you'll allow yourself to get hurt.
For sure.
And then when the times come for them to treat you how you treated them, they're not going to do it. So it's
but so that part is also, and not to cut you off, but like that part, we also have to remember that we can't treat people how we want to be treated just so they treat us.
Just so they treat you.
You know, like, it's like we have to be doing that. And I'm not saying you don't, because like I feel like I'm the same way. I treat people how I want to be treated just because.
Just because, yeah.
And like, it's just annoying when they don't, but I'm not doing it to
To
get
get
anything
nothing
back.
Exactly.
It's just like, but it still like bothers him if I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we just remind ourselves that we're just doing it from a genuine place, it won't bother us as much because it's like, that's who I am. And I have to, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am. And that's how I'm going to remain to be.
Yeah.
I just have to stop wanting people to be like me. You know, like in that sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, people. Let me see. I'm gonna go live for us. Since because we got 2 questions left, and I feel like these are more like social things we can get people.
Okay, bet.
How do we even go live? I don't even know how to go live. Okay, but wait, how do I tag you? You know how to tag yourself? I mean, hold on. Oh yeah, I can add you. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's me inviting you to it. Up there. I thought I brought it over here low key. Okay, I think maybe I gotta tag you first. You want it public. Maybe if I tag you first. And then go live. I hope that works. I don't know if it's gonna work. But hopefully Alright, y'all, we gonna end this video because I already know we at like 50 minutes right now. We're gonna go live and finish the rest of our video, so y'all gonna see this on the channel, and then we gonna continue the rest of this on the live video. So I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gonna tag his Instagram, and y'all can check him out if you have locks, if you are local in San Antonio, or if you plan on visiting San Antonio soon. Y'all go see him, get your hair done, get your scalp scratched, get your hair cut, all right?